fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull when you tune in to the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. Hanging at the fish report. You got Craig and TK and Headland D tuned in at the fish report.
Coming to you live from Studio F in Russia, Ohio. It's the Fish Report Live Show with your hosts, Craig Fissinger and Ken Francis.
Welcome, everyone, to another Fish Report Live. I'm Craig Fissinger. That there is Ken Francis. And Ken, you know who's back in the sound room?
Last I checked, it was TK and Heavy D.
That's right. They're back there every week. We're going to be talking to those guys here in just a little bit. And Ken, you know, I'm all anxious to talk spring sports here, baseball, softball, track and field, but I keep seeing all this news about coaching changes. And, you know, a few weeks ago, we had Minster losing Coach Steckschulte on the girls' side and getting replaced with Mike McClurg. On the boys' side, Mike Lee steps down and in steps Mike Wiss for him. A couple weeks ago, Coach Willoughby steps down at Houston. He's not been replaced. And then last night I see Coach Dosek from Jackson Center. After just taking those girls to the Final Four, he's stepping down. What the heck's going on?
Boy, Craig, there's just, if you're looking for a coaching job in high school basketball, there's a bunch of them around here to open. And, you know, all those coaches you mentioned there, Craig, did outstanding jobs at those respective schools, boys' side and girls' side. So there's some big shoes to fill out there. And, you know, who knows? It's going to be real interesting who's going to step in and fill those shoes, Craig. But, again, yeah, you're right. It's just been a real whirlwind of coaching changes around here.
Well, I know a lot goes into it, probably more than we think, and it's a big commitment. So it seems to be the majority of the reason in all those cases. But anyway, we're going to talk some spring sports tonight, and tonight we've got some good interviews lined up in track and field and also in softball, don't we?
Yes, we do, Craig. Going to go over to West Liberty and speak to their running star sprinter, Morgan Freyhoff. She's went to state last year, finished 7th in the 100-meter dash and 12th in the 200-meter dash. Looking forward to what the senior Lady Tiger runner has to say when we ask her questions over there from West Liberty High School. And also, Craig, really looking forward to talking to the head coach of the Lady Raider softball team. It's Michelle Muhlenkamp. She's in her 3rd season as head coach of the Russia Lady Raider softball team. She's got her Raiders off to a great start this year, Craig. They had a big win the other night over rival Fort Loramie, and she's doing a great job with the program, and looking forward to see what she has to say about her Raiders and their early season success.
Yeah, can't wait to get to all of that. And not going to talk a whole lot of baseball tonight, but tonight's poll question is about baseball, isn't it?
Well, Craig, the Shelby County League is starting to take shape a little bit, so we figured we better get the question out there to our viewers and ask them, which Shelby County League baseball team do you feel has the best chance to capture the league title this year? Craig, I think it's going to be one of these 3 teams, not counting anybody else out, but it's going to be Anna, Fort Loramie, Russia, or one of the other 4. So who of those choices has the best chance to capture Shelby County League's baseball championship?
All right, and of course, if you're watching us live on the internet right now on the Fish Report Live page, you can scroll down, help us answer that poll question, and check your results out. If you're watching us on NK Telco or GameFace Ohio, we will have those results for you at the end of the show. All right, Ken, well, let's get things started. And you know I like to talk about track. Last week we were talking boys track with Russia head coach Dan Schaefer. Tonight we're going to talk some girls track. And, of course, the big annual Anna Invitationals coming up this Saturday. And Anna Rockets coach Dean Stewart always puts on a great event over there, doesn't he?
Yes, he does, Craig. He'll have some great teams there again this year. You know, some couple of outstanding runners. Last year, you know, he had Russia's Lauren Heaton. She's back this year. She had Liberty Center's Brittany Atkinson, who, of course, now runs for Ohio State. But, you know, Coach Stewart's going to do a fantastic job, Craig. The weather's going to be chilly, dress warm, but I guarantee you, Coach Stewart, he's going to be out there doing everything. He's going to be running the scoreboard. He's going to be running the stopwatches. He's going to be selling popcorn. He's going to be taking money. And who knows, he may even get time to get about 6 or 8 miles in during the race of his own training.
Yeah, I know he's usually training for like a half marathon, a full marathon this time of year, so he's probably going to be running a few miles, getting some runs in there too.
I'm sure he will. You know, Coach Stewart does a great job. and appreciate all the work he does over there for the Anna Invitational.
All right. Well, speaking of that Anna Invitational, our next guest actually won the 100-meter dash there last year, and then she went on to the state meet to finish 7th in that event. Oh, by the way, while she was at the state meet, she also ran the 200-meter dash. That is West Liberty-Salem senior Morgan Freyhoff. We're happy to have her live on the phone right now. Morgan, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Well, listen, got an opportunity to watch you a couple weeks ago run at the Versailles Lady Tiger Classic over there. I know it was your first meet of the season, but you looked awfully good, and I want to know, how do you stay in such good shape for a sprinter? In the off season, it's kind of cold outside, so it's not like you can get out there and practice sprinting in the snow. How do you stay in shape in the off season to start out the season so well?
Yeah, well, ever since my freshman year, I've ran indoor track, so that definitely helps. Also, this year we had a pretty mild winter, so I actually did get outside a lot to run, and that really helped me keep in shape.
All right. Well, I know now you're freshman through your junior years. Really, your only job on the team there, Morgan, was you just had to run fast. That's all they were asking of you. And this year, you're a senior now, and you're actually a senior captain. So you got a little added responsibility. Can you tell us who are some of the other senior captains on your team, and what exactly does that title entail?
Well, along with myself, there's Leah Cole is a captain, and also Kaylee Karg, and like us three, we each bring to the table three completely different personalities. Like myself, I lead sprints, Kaylee leads hurdles, and Leah leads distance. And we bring different things to the table, but we also mesh together so well. Like I'm really competitive. I would say Kaylee is kind of like the mom of the team, and Leah kind of she knows the little things. And just when we come together, we really we're really good together, and so I think that's good.
Hi, Morgan. This is Ken. I want to first talk a little bit about the upcoming meet this Saturday at Anna. Anna always puts on a great meet with a lot of good competition. A couple things about the upcoming meet. Number one, it's going to be cold. Okay, what are your thoughts on running in the super cold weather? And also, what else makes you get excited for this Anna Invitational?
Well, definitely Anna's probably one of my favorite meets. It's just really competitive, and I love that. But as for the cold, no sprinter likes running in the cold, so that's not good. But I guess just warm up a lot and just run the best you can in the cold.
Morgan, let's talk a little bit about the young lady that runs the track program at West Liberty High School, and also the track and the cross-country program, and that's Coach Ann Vogel. You've been running for her for 4 years now. She puts her heart and soul into the program over there. What's the relationship like between you two, and how does she inspire you to become a better runner?
I could talk forever about Ann. I'm so grateful that I've gotten to know her, and that she's been my coach for the past 4 years. She pushes me just the right amount, but yet she keeps practice fun. I can see myself in 10 years being Ann Vogel. We're pretty much the same person. Even at practices, we'll have little side meetings and just pretty much talk about what can we do better, who can run what we can do to get the most points, and just the competitiveness we both have. And just I'm so grateful that she has been my coach for these 4 years.
Well, that's nice of you to say. Like you said, she does a great job over there. I've had a couple senior daughter athletes of my own that have graduated, have moved on to college, and I know what it's like. Senior season, it's in the springtime, and you get senioritis. What keeps Morgan focused on track, and what keeps the competitive edge out there to run hard and to do the best you can do over the next 3 months?
Senioritis is definitely real. I don't really think I have it in track, though. I've always been motivated to just, the end, make it to state. So I wouldn't really say I'm lacking motivation in state or in track. But, school's another story.
Hey, Morgan, one more question and we'll let you go. You know, along with being a really successful runner in track, I know in the fall you're also a really successful soccer player. And speaking of Coach Vogel, I think she's even attempted on a couple of occasions to get you to come out for the cross-country team, but I guess you're just too good of a soccer player. So let's talk about post-graduation. What's the plans for after graduation, and will they entail maybe any track or any soccer?
Yeah, it could possibly be in my future, but I actually haven't really decided yet. I'm looking to make my decision in the next week or two. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Morgan, that's all good stuff. Good luck to you this weekend at Anna. Like I said, be sure you guys all dress warm over there. I've been to a lot of Anna track meets, and if it's 32 degrees in West Liberty, I guarantee it's going to be about 20 in Anna. It's always super cold there.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
All right, good luck, Morgan.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was West Liberty track star Morgan Freyhoff. And Ken, you certainly got that right. If for whatever reason, it's always colder in Anna, isn't it?
That's right. You know, with all the pull that Coach Stewart has over there at Anna, you would think maybe they could get an indoor facility or something. Maybe get some of them guys that work on Honda. You know, anybody work on Honda? You know, maybe they could help put something up over there or something. I don't know.
There's a couple guys right there that should be able to help us out. But I like what she had to say about maybe taking over or being like a Coach Vogel someday in the future. We've been trying to get Coach Vogel over here to Russia to do a few things like maybe hosting the show and helping out our program too. Maybe someday Morgan can take over for Coach Vogel and give her the retirement she deserves. Huh?
That's right. Maybe Coach Vogel's retirement job, Craig. Maybe who knows? Maybe she could come into the room over here and fill in for one of us sometime.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
I think she did once, though.
She did do it once. She did
well. She did good, too.
She did an awesome job. All right, well, listen, that's going to wrap it up for the first half of our show. We're going to take a short break, but stay right there because when we come back, we're going to talk some softball, including that big interview with Russia coach Michelle Muhlenkamp.
Stage at the leaving van. Music starts at 8 o'clock. You can find us here every Wednesday night. It's usually the same cats every week, but I can't tell you all their names. Teacher, cat, and a junkie, all waiting for time to play. Everybody here's got something that we're trying to leave behind. We're all a little broken, looking for a place to hide. Get no answers, don't ask any questions. We're all here just looking for a high. Yeah, we're all beautifully broken here tonight.
Welcome back to the second half of Fish Report Live. And before the break, we were talking some track and field. We're going to talk a little softball the second half. But before we do that, I want to go back to the sound room again. And guys, Heavy D in particular, you started a new segment this spring, or you started it last week, where you were actually naming off the television shows that Fish Report has passed up or is no longer on the air, or something like that, right?
Yeah, 150 episodes for the Fish Report live show, and looking at all the sitcoms out there in the world, and we're blowing by them left and right. I don't know. We got some staying power here. A couple that just come to mind here recently. The first one is Robot Wars. And you go back to 1998, live on from the BBC network over in England was Robot Wars. Nerdy guys like me and TK designing robots that beat the heck out of each other. A couple classics that you probably remember. Some of the famous robots were Mr. Psycho, Matilda, Cassius Chrome, and Sir Kill-A-Lot.
Robot Wars. I vaguely remember. You got a picture of that by any chance?
Yeah, I think we do. Let's take a look there.
There we go. Robot Wars. So we've passed up Robot. Tonight's 152 episodes. That was on for
151.
151. Okay, so we passed
just another
Robot
one. Just
Wars.
another one we went around tonight, Craig.
That looks like some fun there. That looks like some fun.
And another one of my all-time favorites, said no one ever, was Trapper John M.D. This was a spin-off from MASH, and none of the characters carried over. So this series really wasn't that big, but the series I really liked was a series called After MASH. And this
I remember
is
that.
Klinger and Father Mulcahy and Hot Lips Houlihan. I think they got caught up in some kind of love triangle, which canceled that series after 31 episodes.
We've blown that one away a long
We did
time
that
ago.
one in season 1.
And then a spin-off from After MASH was a show called Walter. Well, I guess after Walter O'Reilly, Radar, that lasted one episode.
Oh, wow.
One episode.
That's what I know about
We
that.
were still using the milk crate, Craig, when we passed that guy.
one. Episode 1.
I'm not
for sure.
sure.
So we passed up Robot Wars and Trapper John M.D. this
Yes.
episode, huh?
Yes.
Oh, that's great stuff. That's good stuff,
Good
Heavy
stuff
D.
back there, Heavy D.
This is a good segment, and I think it's going to continue because I think the viewers out there just anxiously await every week your shows that you're.
I like the analogy that Heavy D gives us on these shows. It just brings back, all those old characters from Robot Wars. I mean, that was a great show.
Oh, Matilda. You can't beat Matilda.
How about Hacksaw Reynolds or whatever that one guy was called back
Jim
there?
Duggins
Yeah.
from the WWE.
All right, time to get back to some spring sports. How about that? But listen, last week we started talking with some softball. We had Houston coach Brent New on the show. The SCAL's played a few games so far, but it's been a little bit tricky with the schedule and the weather and all that. So we don't really have an updated standings like we like to do. But I think we know who's good right now in the SCAL, don't we?
I think we do, Craig. And, Anna Rockets are sitting at 2-1 right now. Fort Loramie, of course, they're 3-1. They had their first loss the other night to Russia. Fort Loramie's got a great team. Coach Turner always has his good team ready to play. Houston, of course, they're Houston when it comes to the softball. They're sitting at 2-0 in the league right now, Craig. But the Russia Raiders, they're sitting at 3-2 overall, 1-0 in the league. Had a big win over Fort Loramie the other night. Loramie, I guess, was the preseason odds-on favorite to win the league, but Russia had a lot to say about that. And Coach Muhlenkamp, Craig, she's really got her team focused right now. They're young, but they got a lot of good athletes, Craig, and really looking forward to talking to her tonight on the show.
Yeah, she's like you said, she beat Loramie on Monday, and of course they got Houston coming up on Thursday, so they got the tough part of the SCAL this week, that's for sure. But we're happy to have Coach Muhlenkamp live on the phone right now. Coach, welcome to Fish Report Live, and thanks for joining us.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, we're just talking about the SCAL a little bit, talking about the record so far. I know it's been a little bit tricky getting some games in because of the weather. You've done pretty good so far, but I'm just glad we could get a hold of you because I looked at your schedule on Sunday night. You had games on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I think that's right. So how crazy of a week is that for you?
Yeah, it's definitely been a crazy couple of days, but it's that time of the year, and we're just really blessed to spend a lot of hours on the ball diamond together as a team. And the schedule has been a tough one here at the beginning, but we're loving every minute of it.
All right. Well, listen, like I said, we were just talking about the league standings, and we also mentioned you picked up that big win over Fort Loramie on Monday night, and always a good rivalry game, always two good schools when you talk Russia and Fort Loramie. What did you do so well in that game to pick up the win?
Our girls absolutely came ready to play on Monday night, despite the cold and the snow that was falling from the sky. What I loved most about that game, though, was that it was an excellent team win. Maddie pitched a great game, but every single player contributed to that win up and down our lineup, and we just did the little things right. So it had been quite some time since Russia softball has beaten Loramie, and so the girls just came out Monday night and they played awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Hi, Coach. This is Ken, and I want to talk a little bit about your young team. Young in the fact that you actually have no seniors on this team. You're winning some big games already, and you're still considered a young team per se. We were talking earlier to West Liberty senior track star there, and she talked about the team leadership that she has on that team. Does not having a senior on your team, does that give you a concern with like who's going to lead these girls?
Yeah, I think our situation this year with no seniors is definitely a unique one. We do kind of miss that senior leadership and that edge to kind of putting it all out there for your seniors, but we definitely have a few girls stepping up into that leadership role to help guide these young girls this year. One I can think of definitely is Maria Herron. She's always leading by example and really stepping up vocally this year to kind of lead some of the younger kids. But I also think this could work to our advantage because these girls are going to have a lot of experience and kind of grow in their positions this year. So with that, I think we could do a lot of great things in the future with this group of girls.
Coach, even though you don't have any seniors, you've got some very good players on this team, and we're going to start with Maria Herron. Of course, she was, I think, honorable mention All-Ohio last year. She's just a fantastic catcher, great hitter. You've got Maddie Borcher, as you mentioned before, on the mound. You got Lexi Monin, I know, who's just off to a great start this year. Had a really good year last year for you. And but I want to talk about a girl who last year didn't get a play probably a whole lot. Maybe she's new this year, but boy, she's making a lot of noise, and that's Lauren Monin. Explain, how she's doing, how she's fitting into the team this year, and what energy she brings to you.
Yeah. Oh, Lauren Monin. Her teammates actually call her Cat. That is her nickname. I have no idea how she got that nickname, but it really seems to be working for her because I tell you what, that girl can hit a softball. She has an incredible amount of raw athletic talent, and every day, what's really cool about Kat is she shows up every single day, and she is so coachable. And she's been able to apply what she's learned this year and use that talent and really apply it to the game. She's an awesome kid, and like you said, she brings a lot of energy to our team and definitely makes us laugh. I've enjoyed watching her develop into a great softball player this past year.
Coach, you talked about your rugged schedule, and I look at who you've played. You've played Fort Laramie, you've played Minster, you've played New Bremen, you've played Versailles. Just a brutal schedule so far, and you don't get anything easy tomorrow night either as you take on the Houston Wildcats. Houston is a perennial softball power in the Shelby County League. We had Coach New on our interview last week. He just recorded his 300th career win, and you're in your third season of coaching, so he's obviously got the experience. It's going to be a great battle. What's it going to take for your team to come out on top tomorrow night?
Yeah, just like Monday night, we're going to have to come out ready to play. Hats off to Coach New on his 300th win. That's awesome. Houston has always been a great ball team, and to get a win tomorrow night, my girls are going to have to make quick adjustments at the plate, and they're going to have to play some solid defense behind our pitcher because we know for a fact that those Houston girls are going to put the ball in play. So we're going to have to make some great plays, and we're really looking forward to a great ball game as long as the rain holds off.
All right, Coach, listen, one more question and we'll let you go. But Ken just mentioned how this is your third season at Russia, and I guess I want to know, has anything changed from that with the program from that first year when you came in as a rookie coach to this third season? Has anything changed with your program?
Yeah, I can definitely say I've learned a lot about coaching in these past 3 years. Something we've kind of brought to the game this year is the coaching staff has focused a lot on improving the mental aspects of the game. But also another thing I've learned is I cannot go out there and play the game as the coach. I just have to trust in the girls' abilities and trust in what they've learned and let them go play ball and have fun. I think that's the most important thing I've learned. This is such an amazing group of girls, and I'm so lucky to have an awesome coaching staff and just to have had the opportunity to coach in such a great community for the past couple of years.
Coach, you've done a great job with the program. You got a lot of kids out playing, and you mentioned your assistant coaches. And like you said, you can't do it alone. I know Jamie Herron, great guy. I know Jamie very well. Talk a little bit about what Jamie does for your team as well as anybody else that's helping coach.
Jamie, you're absolutely right. Jamie is an awesome, awesome guy. He definitely brings a lot to our team. He makes us laugh every single day. He just reminds us that we're
we're out there to have fun. He's always telling us girls to just relax and have fun. Another one of my assistant coaches is Judy Gubo. She's amazing. She's a little spitfire, and she brings that positive energy to our team each and every day, and we love Judy. It would not be the same out there if it wasn't for Judy. But I do have one question for you guys, actually. One of my coaches, he is all excited about, ESPN4 coming live out of Russia, and I was wondering when that was happening so I could let him know.
I heard the same thing, and I'm not exactly sure what that's all about, but I know you got a little heat for it, didn't you, Ken?
Yeah, I got a little heat from it, and I think I don't know. We're gonna have to look into that. We're not sure what you're talking about, Coach.
If you could let me know, that would really.
We're gonna plead ignorant on that one, okay?
Hey, listen, Coach. Best of luck the rest of the season. Best of luck. You got your girls playing super softball right now. I've been to a few games, not this year, but I can't wait to get to one. If you don't watch a lot of girls softball, any of our listeners out there, it's fast paced. It's exciting to watch. There's a lot of action, and I'm sure Coach Muhlenkamp would love to have you out there to watch.
Yeah, sure would. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, that was the head coach of the Russia Raiders, Michelle Muhlenkamp. And Ken, you mentioned how a fast-paced game and how fun it is to watch. And I'll tell you, I was at the game on Saturday when they played Versailles, and was a big baseball fan there that I know goes by the Twitter handle Wobby Juice. And Wobby Juice is a big baseball fan, but he had to admit to me, he said, this is the first year that I've really been watching a lot of softball. He goes, it's pretty good. It's nonstop action.
Like I said, I went to a couple games last year. I was impressed. It's fast paced, and I don't know. I cannot wait to get to a game and watch some action.
This is Little Wobby here.
That is Little
Wobby. I think that's the big reason he attends these games now. But I do want to go back to the sound room guys again, and we kind of skipped TK there a little earlier. TK, we talked a little bit of baseball tonight as far as our poll question went. I'd like to check in with you though, and you got any updates? I know it's still early in the season, kind of hard to keep track of the standings, but what's going on in area baseball?
Like you said, yeah, just getting things started, and I got to get some dials turned around here. Sorry about that. All right, there we go. A little bit better. Transferring between phones and all that. Yeah, looking at the Shelby County League, pretty much what we expected. Fort Laramie 4-2 right now, Anna 4-0-1. So both coming out and playing very, very good baseball. And then that's going to be leading up to Thursday, tomorrow night. If again, as we talked about this weather and the cold and wind and everything, if the weather holds, tomorrow night Fort Laramie and Anna play. So that will be a very good game. Kind of settle things out there at the top, at least early in the season. Our Russia Raiders 2-2 now. Some tough losses to Minster and to Fort Laramie. Got a couple days here. Hopefully, if the weather holds, to get the bats going back up again against Houston and Marion Local the next couple days. So that's Shelby County League right now. If we look at MAC, some of the same top teams over there, St. Henry, Minster, and Versailles all playing really good baseball right now. I think Versailles is 6-0. Just putting some whippings on people early on here, so they're going to be a tough team as things progress and get warmer and playing even better baseball outside later in the season.
All right, good stuff, TK. And we'll get into some more baseball next week, try to line up a baseball interview for the show so we can talk a little bit more about that. But one more thing to get to tonight, and that is the poll question. And, Ken, if you could read that again to our viewers.
Asking our viewers tonight, Craig, which Shelby County League baseball team has the best chance to capture the Shelby County League this year? Is it Anna, Fort Laramie, Russia, or the Mutual Field?
All right, well, we'll check in with TK on that one again. TK, got any answers on that one?
Yeah, the voters are split between Fort Laramie and Anna, 40% each, and then we got a 20% local Russia vote. Mm-hmm. So looking at, nobody can decide completely, but Anna and Fort Laramie look to be the favorites right now.
Well, there's a long way to go in the league. Laramie had a big win over Russia the other night, but a lot of baseball to go. And, when these teams get rainouts and they're starting to play several tough games in the same week, anything can happen. So I don't think any of the three are out of the league race. Well, I know none of the three are out of the league race yet. So it'll be interesting to see what pans out over the next 3 weeks.
Yeah, we'll certainly stay on top of that the rest of the spring sports season. And that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. We do want to say special thanks to our guest, Morgan Freyhoff from over over there at West Liberty-Salem. And of course, Coach Muhlenkamp, who you just heard from Russia. Ken and I and the crew will all be back again next week, same time, same place. Until then, have a great rest of the week, and good night, everyone.
Hanging at the fish report. 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 For your latest news in high school sports, tune in to the fish report. Don't need no bed, don't need no pull when you tune in to the fish report.